They can only hope to open their eyes to their real people underneath that are masking a lot of pain and a lot of hurt. You know, the people down here, they have a lot of grief. A lot of grief. You know, it's very heartbreaking.
Oh, my mother, I don't have too many memories of my mum because I was pretty young when she left. Poor Nan didn't want to look after me.
Oh, I'm sure she loved you, dear.
Oh, no, she only took me on because DHS said that they'd put me in foster care. She didn't, but she didn't know it'd turn out to be forever. Thought my mum would just come back and get me. Well, she didn't.
I've been an outreach worker in this area for the last 6 years, and it was incredibly true to life. Susie played her part as if she'd lived it, as if she was living it right now, and I think that brought about a feeling for the audience that we were all travelling along this journey with her, feeling those feelings, you know, that desperation.
You could have really got hurt there.
Oh, maybe I should have waited. I feel fucking sick and now I've got to go out again.
No.
This is...
No, we'll ring Joe for tips.
You know he won't. It's easier if I just go back out.
I run an open house for street sex workers and women with addictions, you know, who have mental illness and social isolation and homelessness. And all those issues together were brought about in the story tonight. And I think that there's unfortunately still a lot of ignorance that doesn't happen in Melbourne, and people don't necessarily see it. And so by having educational tools like a walking theatre tonight, it's a fun way to learn. It's a way of getting the community together to destigmatise.
I thought the young man's story was interesting. You know, he came from a middle class family, and you could see that, you know, it wasn't that hard for him to kind of lose his way with his life, and it wasn't such a foreign family background, so it would be familiar to a lot of people, and yet the story showed how easily, you know, fairly ordinary average people can find their own life circumstances changed.
But you're more worried about what other people think or how I'm really doing. Just always get the third degree with you two. You never believe anything I tell you anyway.
I think that this play should be distributed throughout our education system.
Exceptional. Acting, writing, direction is very, very high quality, and the way that St Kilda's used is pretty amazing, and I think it's really important that more people see it. I think I learnt that, you know, you just can never judge anybody, you know, and I think that fine line of me and them it's a fine line, and it's cold out.
We went to locations that actually normally wouldn't, you're in them in sort of a real situation, and places where you would normally not go near, and it gave you a great sense of the sort of the seamy side of this for the people who are involved in it.
The intensity of the actors really let me, and I guess the majority of the audience, forget that they were actors, but real people out there showing the community the real life on the streets in the community they live in. So I was really impressed.
I'm just going to go out for a bit, just enough to get on for night. Just fucking wait at home if you want.
Yeah, what, so you can throw it back in my face again? Fucking forget it. Sort it out for yourself. Don't wake me up when you get in.
Okay, if that's how you want it.
That's how I want it.
Well, you know, obviously things like the script and the moving around from scene to scene was really nice. But I think that what I really liked about it, and what I brought away with me the first night and just hung with me, and that's why I came again, was just sort of like the feeling underneath it all. I think there was sort of like, it was done in a very sensitive way, and a way which had some sort of depth. There seemed to be a really nice feeling around the whole production, the people that were involved, even the people who had the torches and things like that.
I really enjoyed was the community feel, and I wrote in the comment book that it's sort of unusual in this day and age to come and see a play which is free, and to feel welcomed and then to have a feed afterwards and just get feedback from the people who are involved and doing this. I think that's fantastic.
The way actually a street worker actually walked in and made it, it was like she was actually a live extra in the play. You know, she actually made a comment relating to what was said in the script and that. And there was it was happening all around, so it was great. You know, that sort of stuff is priceless, I reckon.
Yeah, it was like really real, like you can imagine yourself being there kind of thing, and like because that's such good acting and environment and stuff, it just makes you realise that you never want to go there, never want to be in that position.
All I want is a cigarette just before I go to work! All you do is whinge. Jeez, you think I like standing me here like a fucking goose? Get out there!
It was confronting at times, and I think it was a really great way to have a conversation about something that people never talk about. That was what I enjoyed, was talking to people about prostitution and drug use, and I don't normally talk to my friends about that kind of stuff, so yeah, it's good. My son's here, he's 13, great way again for me to have a conversation with him about kinds of issues that you don't sort of talk about at home over the table.
It's an eye-opener for what goes on the other side of the fence that you normally wouldn't see, and it was really great. And the actors were really wonderful.
I thought it was profoundly disturbing, rang true to life, and the location was sublime because gritty, real.
Some men think they have the right to come down to St Kilda, abuse and rape you, sometimes even kill. And why not? Society thinks we're just trash anyway.
Last night when I was leaving the performance, I saw a woman rubbing her eye and it was red already. She'd just been punched. So ugly things happen, and that was documented in the play, and then it was spooky that I ran into it straight after the performance.
I'm teaching at Kangan TAFE, and they had a class to do drug and alcohol unit study, and they all came down here one night to experience this theatre, and I think they probably learnt more in that session than they would in most of the other in-class study they'd have to do.
It was very powerful, like in showing us like how it really is out in the streets.
Yeah, gave us some insight into what their lives were about and how they lived every day. So it was interesting.